In Capital News tonight, President Samir Suluhu Hassan has called on CCM leaders to address the threat of drought. Water production in Dar es Salaam and coast regions increased to 590 litres a day. And in sports, Ghana makes Africans happy after a 3-2 win against South Korea. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The national chair of Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party, President Samir Suluhu Hassan, while addressing the 10th meeting of the CCM Women's Wing, UWT, directed all party leaders to actively participate in strategic farming, especially during this agricultural season, so as to avoid the threat of hunger and drought, as the government has already put in place various strategies to ensure food security in the country.
Dunia inatabiri kutokea kwa janga la njaa duniani. Tanzania sisi.
The world is predicting that there will be hunger in the world. We Tanzanians are not people to wait for hunger. And that's why, as the government, we have taken actions to triple the agriculture budget, funds that will go into irrigation, training for extension officers, as well as providing them with equipment to be used in the farms, as well as fertilizers and other subsidies. You have witnessed me opening warehouses for storing farmed and harvested crops in the regions so that we can access them if hunger strikes.
Kuna mahali tunaanza kujisahau. Tunaacha kuwa.
There are areas where we are starting to lose perspective. We stop being leaders of the women's wing, leaders of CCM, and focus on being leaders to people. This causes significant challenges.
Jambo ambalo linatengeneza changamoto kubwa.
Dar es Salaam Water and Sanitation Authority DAWASA said that there has been an increase in water levels in Dar es Salaam and coast regions after River Ruvu filled up, with production increasing from 300 million litres a day to 590 million litres a day.
Hali ya maji ni nzuri, na wale ambao wanapata kwa mgao ni migao ambayo iko smart.
I agree that at various times we do get breakdowns that caused by electricity disturbances or pipe breakdown, but so far so good. Water services are back to normal. We have increased 70 million in capital this time.
Lakini so far so good. Tumerejea na huduma ya maji imerudi kawaida. Na sasa safari hii niseme tumerejea kwa kishindo kwa sababu tumeongeza mtaji.
Following completion of the boundary marking exercise at Kilimanjaro International Airport, some residents near the areas have said they do not oppose the verification process for the areas, but would like the exercise to be redone so that they can be involved.
Yusta Thomas, resident Kia. Since they have started their meetings, we have never been involved in them. No one knows about the meetings, so we are forced to wait and see what they decide. How have we invaded the airport when we have been here since it started being built?
Amesema kwamba zoezi hili limewashirikisha wananchi wote, wameshirikishwa na mheshimiwa mbunge. Narudia tena,
this exercise involved all residents. The MP went there and conducted over 6 meetings with his constituents. After that, they wanted the government statement, and I went to a large opening meeting and issued the government statement and gave them the day. The beacons will start to be placed.
Halafu swala la kusema kwamba wanafanyiwa tathmini ya nyumba tu, sijui migomba na nini, ni sawa, kwa sababu nimeanza kusema ardhi ile ni ya serikali, kiwanja kile ni cha serikali.
Some users of the formalized Mbweni port in Dar es Salaam have complained of poor infrastructure used for entering and leaving the port, a situation that has forced them to use cattle to carry their goods.
Miundombinu ni mibovu. Unaona mabwawa haya, hatufugi samaki, hatufugi perege, hatufugi chochote, lakini huku juu barabarani kuna mabwawa. Yaani bamvua likiwa kubwa maji yanafika mpaka kwenye majumba hayo hapo hayo.
Mibovu sana. Kwa ajili hapa sisi tunatumia ng'ombe kushusha mizigo yetu bandarini. Unaelewa vizuri eh? Na siku nyinginewe vyombo vinafika nje kule, nje huko. Watu wanakwenda wanatunga, wanaogelea na mizigo mpaka maji yajae. Tunaleta huku, tunafanya miundombinu kufanya nini? Kutoa. Na mkuu wa mkoa akatuambia bana miundombinu ya nini itafanyika. Lakini toka siku hiyo kuna mambo sio kutawekwa mabango sio kuonesha kama huku kuna bandari, lakini naona hatujaelewa lolote mpaka leo.
Kazi inakuwa ngumu kwa sababu tunatumia ng'ombe, lakini ingekuwa gati kule ni urahisi, hata gari inafika. Chukua mzigo mnapakia gari naondoka. Kina sababu mzigo unatakiwa utoke kule upande huku juu. Kwa hiyo kazi inakuwa ngumu.
And the President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, who is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, representing the President of Tanzania in this 22nd World and Tourism Council Global Summit, has assured that Tanzania is focused on ensuring tourism activities in the country do not affect nor destroy the environment.
Jumuiya ya kimataifa inazungumzia juu ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunalinda mazingira ya dunia. Kila siku zinavyokwenda tunaona kuna athari kubwa za kimazingira. Kwa hivyo dunia imeamua kwamba sasa tujitahidi kila mmoja wetu atumie nishati mbadala ambayo itapunguza athari za kimazingira.
It is together to share best practices and accelerate change. Whatever my hope and ambition for the event may be, it is ultimate success depends on each one of you. I hope you leave here with a sense of possibility, a sense of wonder, and a renewed commitment to support the sustainable development of the sector that we all care so much about.
And the Prime Minister of Tanzania, Kassim Majaliwa, has warned authorities who issue permits for cutting mangroves in order to protect environment reserves as the government spends significant funds to implement water projects due to reckless tree cutting.
Mikoko hii inasaidia kufanya maeneo hayo kuwa chepechepe. Mkianza kukata mikoko hapa, basi mnataka eneo hili liwe kame.
These mangroves helps the areas maintain water. If you start cutting them, that means you want this area to have drought. The water challenges experienced in other areas is due to cutting down the forest and leaving the earth exposed to the sun. Today the government incurs costs to get water because we are forced to seek it out deep in the earth over 200 meters. I caution TFS officers to be very careful and ensure environment is conserved so that we have forests to bring rain and, in effect, ensuring there is water for people to farm, drink, cook and clean with.
Wakazi wa eneo hili, mjiandae, tuna mipango mikubwa sana ya uwekezaji.
Resident of this area, prepare yourselves. We have major investments and economic plans to change your lives here. We ask God to bless our President Samia Suluhu Hassan. We have seen she has done a big job in the coast region without bias.
Amefanya kazi kubwa katika mkoa wa Pwani na Mheshimiwa Rais wetu, Mheshimiwa Waziri Mkuu hana ubaguzi. Lakini anakwenda kule kwenye changamoto zaidi.
The government has officially announced its plan to start to build new modern ships, with older ships such as MV Liemba to be removed from the transport system so as to reduce the costs of transporting goods within and outside the country.
Zilioko pale zimejengwa toka miaka 100 MV Liemba. Is a dead ship. Samahani, najua leo watanisema hivyo, wataniandika kwenye magazeti. Lakini kwenye meli haipo MV Liemba. Yeye mmeona meli, pengine mbahatika kwenda meli nzuri. Sasa serikali kwa kulijua hilo tumeamua sasa tuje na program maalum ya kujenga meli za kisasa. Hiyo ndio njia pekee itakayokwamua nchi zetu hizi hasa za kutumia maziwa kuweza kujenga uchumi wetu.
The construction project of the port of Tanga that will cost over 429.1 billion shillings and is expected to be handed over to the government in April next year has reached 80%.
Sasa katika hatua ya awali kwanza tumegundua kwamba bandari ya Tanga imeshakabidhiwa.
In the initial stages, we have determined that the port of Tanga has already been handed a 300-meter dock, which means any large ship can come and dock here. There are still 150 meters left, which still being built by the contractor. As construction continues, we have witnessed a 41% increase in cargo in the month of September-October. By the 4th of April 2023, our second phase project will be complete. The coming of these locomotives is a sign that we can now manage the tons we can service at the port of Tanga. Right now, the port can service 750,000 tons, but when this project is completed, we'll be able to service up to 3 million tons.
That's all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, a landslide during a funeral ceremony in Cameroon's capital has killed at least 14 people. The disaster occurred on Sunday as people gathered on a football pitch at the base of a 20-meter-high soil embankment in Yaoundé. Landslides occur frequently in Cameroon but are rarely as deadly as Sunday's incident in Yaoundé. The third inter-Congolese consultations of the Nairobi peace process launched today were attended by President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya. Also present was the chairperson of the East African Community and President of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, with the other East African leaders of the community participating virtually. The inter-consultations are aimed at bringing to an end the war between DRC forces and the M23.
My government assures you, Your Excellency, and the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as the entire East African region and Africa at large, of Kenya's unwavering support and of our determination to stay this course together until the job is done. Mr. President, you are not alone, and I want you to let our brothers and sisters in the DRC to know that they are not alone. The inescapable tie of geography ties us together in the East Africa like Siamese twins. So long as DRC knows no peace, prospects for prosperity for the rest of EAC and Africa will remain dim and reversible. Instability and insecurity in the DRC will be relentless in undermining human development and holistic progress in and beyond the Great Lakes region.
The participation of all the invited groups at this consultative forum gives me much hope that all the objectives will be realized, and we believe that at the end of this process, we will be able to see increased coordination and coherence of the Nairobi process with the PDDRCs, the armed groups that are yet to cease hostilities, to honor their commitments to cease armed activities and to grant unhindered humanitarian access, and the full deployment and operationalization of the East African Regional Force. I want to urge all participants to this process, including those who are not yet here on the table with us, to give their support to this process.
Austrian rail traffic today ground to a halt, impacting about 8,000 connections and some 1 million passengers as workers hold a 24-hour strike after another round of pay negotiations fell through. Monday's strike affected transport at all levels, from public transport to regional services and long-distance night trains, as well as rail freight lines. The main rail workers' union had called for a €400 monthly pay rise for the sector's 50,000 employees, but they were offered €208 instead, plus a one-off payment of €1,000. The international news, business news is next. Now in business news. Tanzania Revenue Authority has said it has collected more than 99% of its target without using force during the 2021-2022 financial year.
Tunda ya mahusiano hayo yamedhihirika kupitia ongezeko la makusanyo ya kodi bila ya matumizi ya nguvu na njia zenye migogoro.
Muhimu niwaombe viongozi wote wa vyama vya wafanyabiashara nchini ambao bainishwa hapa na kwa makundi yenu kuwa mstari wa mbele kuwahamasisha wanachama ambao ni wafanyabiashara kulipa kodi kwa hiari.
And rice farmers at the Luganga scheme in Iringa district have said they expect to get a bumper harvest due to increased production after the government reduced fertilizer prices.
Subsidies fertilizers are 70,000 shillings, but now we have agreed to pay 35,000 shillings now and pay the remaining 35,000 shillings after harvest. We have loaned farmers at affordable cost, so the other amount, which would have been higher, could be handled by many more farmers.
The government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, plans to start production of subsidized avocado seeds with the aim of increasing production of the fruit and meet the current demand in the foreign market.
Miche ya ruzuku ya parachichi takribani milioni 20 ambayo tahakikisha kwamba inasimamiwa chini ya TOSC.
We will produce 20 million subsidy avocado seedlings, which we will ensure are supervised under TOSC and TARI so as to ensure quality control, and in the end they can reach to farmers at the affordable prices. Our goal is to increase production. We have also improved our infrastructure, which is necessary to support the production targets.
Moja, kwa sababu mfumo huu utakuwa una bidhaa kubwa tatu. Bidhaa ya kwanza kama nilivyosema ni data. Kwa hiyo tutakuwa tunaweza kutoa taarifa muhimu ya nini kinaendelea kwenye sekta na takwimu sahihi, kwa sababu tunashirikiana na serikali kwa karibu.
Uwepo wa fursa hii inatufanya sisi wakulima.
Second will be all areas involving various research. Those are being done in the sector as a whole, be it from universities or private sectors will be now available at one-stop shop platform.
That's where we leave off with business news. Sports is next. And now in sports. The NBC Premier League proceeded today with 2 matches where Kagera Sugar defeated Mtibwa by 1-0, scored by Meshach Abraham. In the second game, there was no winner between KMC and Tanzania Prisons, the game ending with a 0-0 draw. And young Africans will be without their star man Faisal Salum when they face Ihefu tomorrow. According to the Yabga assistant coach Cedric Kaze, Faitoto is injured and he is missing the game against Ihefu, who are last in the league table. Ghana and Cameroon have given Africans a reason to smile today after their performances in the World Cup in Qatar, whereby in the game between Ghana and South Korea, Ghana won by 3-2 goals. Cameroon drew 3-3 with Serbia after going 3-1 down, making their group more interesting, while Ghana defeated South Korea by 3-2. The game that just ended right now was between Brazil and Switzerland, and with the last night game being a meeting between Uruguay and Portugal. And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Good night.